All right, we are here. We're live. We're ready to go. So we're gonna be going over PC hardware records today. It's a big list. There's a lot of records. We're gonna go over some of the top records, some records that maybe you have for GTX to 1080 Ti, GTX 1050 Ti, some. Oh, thank you very much there, Retrovet. I thought I turned it back on. Apparently, I didn't turn it back on. So we'll go over all of that again. Yeah, I unmuted it. My apologies. The chat is a little bit delayed. I am recording this in 4K and streaming in 4K, so there's a little bit of delay. So my apologies on that. Again, thank you for the very much for the message there saying no sound. I thought I put my mic back on, but apparently not. So we're gonna be going over top world records, just PC records as well today. So I am a Canadian overclocker, career overclocking. I am top 10 right now in Canada. Team WEG, I am 30th place. Apprentice, 54th out of 1896. And Apprentice League is not like the lowest league. It's up to dry ice is allowed. Worldwide, I am number 361 out of 213,845. I am in Team WEG, which is one of the best overclocking teams there is. With Splave, Sebi, Benchmark, and a whole bunch of other top overclockers. Splave is the #1 overclocker. So, Team WEG, we are in Team WEG. Our profile picture is an egg with a W on it, if it's very hard for you guys to see that. So yeah, we're going to be going over PC hardware. Again, like I said before, but I have myself muted. We're gonna be going over EVGA cards, which is this right here is a EVGA GTX 1080 Ti. You'll see a bunch of EVGA cards for some older records, more or less because EVGA got out of overclocking, or not overclocking itself, but got out of GPUs. And EVGA made really good graphics cards, especially for overclockers. So where should we really start off? We'll go to the actual records right now. We'll go to the records. So let's go to HardwareBot top. This is hardwarebot.org. This is where all the overclockers and overclocking for verification goes to make sure everything's verified. It's where all the top overclockers go. So yeah, there's a couple competitions going on right now. One's ending tomorrow, which is the G-Skill OC World Cup competition. It will be ending tomorrow. The winner will be getting 40,000 USD, so $40,000 USD. I would be participating in this, but I currently do not have G-Skill RAM, and you have to have G-Skill RAM. There was a new record, some new records. Let's see what we got here. So we'll go to, we'll start off with processor world records for now. Yeah, the EVGA 37 Ti is a great card. The 30 series cards for EVGA are really good. Really, really good. Some other cards you might see in the list is Galax Hall of Fames, which are some really top of the line overclocking cards. They're enthusiast grade cards like 3090s, 4090s, and 5090s. So, and there's older cards too, but CPU Profile Max is a good one to do. There should be a different page for this though. So we'll go over Sebi. Sebi has a new world record with the AMD Ryzen Threadripper Pro 7990WX at 6.35 gigahertz. Ole. Cranking it. Very nice. This isn't all ice that you see on this, but it's part of cloth. But yeah, a lot of this is built up of ice from the liquid nitrogen. And he has a torch on to it because he's trying to heat it back up. This is a very expensive setup. A very expensive setup. That's a crazy score, though. So this is, again, the Ryzen Threadripper Pro 7995WX. And his score is 43,803 marks on a CPU Profile Max, which is insane. So this is a world record. So world records are like one of like your first place out of every CPU, every GPU, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's first place. This is first place. And these are for benchmarks, a whole bunch of different benchmarks. This is CPU Profile Max. So as you can see, he has first place, first place, first place, one of one. Because he's the only one that's done it so far, but he does have the record for any CPU out there for this benchmark, which is insane. Crazy score, Sebi, crazy. And he is using the Asus Pro WS TRX 50 Sage Wi-Fi board. Very expensive motherboard, very expensive CPU. He's using G.Skill DDR5 SD RAM, Zeta R5 Neos. I guess next off we can look at 3D Mark 11 Physics by Ratty. What is he using? He is using the fairly new Ryzen 9 9950X Granite Ridge. He's using liquid nitrogen. Is at 6 gigahertz, which is pretty crazy, actually. Let's see what he's got going on here. This is physics, so even though this is 3D Mark 11 Advanced Edition, so 3D Mark 11, there's graphic scores and physics scores. The physics scores will be going off of the CPU. So 60,078 points is, wow, crazy. See what he's using for the board. Doesn't have anything set for the board, but he's a video card, GTX 980 Ti. Very good score, Ratty. So 7-zip score, holy points. Again, Sebi, and this will be probably the 7995WX. It is the Threadripper here again, 96 core CPU. Same board. No, not same board. Is he using the same board? No, a different motherboard on this one. So this is a different motherboard on this test. This is the Asus Pro WS WRX90E Sage SE. 745,706 MIPS. Holy. He hit a max wattage of 550 watts. Crazy. 5.9 gigahertz, 1.61 volts. That's a lot of voltage. a lot of voltage. Crazy score though. Holy moly. That thing is ripping. Almost hitting a million on the decompression. 914,000. 920,000. 921,000. That's crazy fast. Holy moly. Great score, Sebi. Holy moly. Doesn't have a picture of his setup. You might post one later on. And then we got Dreadzone. Dreadzone's got his record here. Simbench 2003. It's using Asus ROG Maximus Z790 Apex Encore. Good motherboard for RAM overclocking. He's using a 14900K on this one. Up to 7.7 gigahertz, which is absolutely insane again. He's using a GT 1010. Yep, that is crazy, man. I haven't ran Simbench 2003 in a long time. Cast latency of 28 at, holy, he's flying. 7,000 megatransfers per second. CL28 is fast. Would like to know some more of the timings he's using for that, because that's really good. Yeah, 17,856 Simbench points. That's wow. And Splave is just behind him. With a 14900 KS at 7.8. Why? What? His timings probably aren't as good. That's why his points are not as good. He's using a 14900 KS, 7.8. Should be beating it. All depends too. Some of these benchmark tests vary on, you know, what works for like different operating systems. So like Windows XP, Windows 7, Vista, Windows 10, 8, 11. All depends. Simbench 2024 by Sebi again with the Threadripper Pro. Got some pictures to look at this one. Very nice. CPU is not lapped, probably because he didn't want to do it, but looks like the contact is still very, very good. He's using Kingpen thermal paste. What liquid nitrogen pot is that? Does he have it saved in here? No. What pot is that? I'm not sure what CPU pot he's using there. It looks like a blood slug's core. Doesn't look big enough to be a T-Rex. Again, very good score here. Max core temp, -30. That's all it's gonna say. There's only a max of what it'll go down to, so 10,242 points. That's flying. And he's using the WS-WRX 90E Sage SE board again. Simbench are 11.5, 188 points. Only at 5.5 gigahertz too. So it's not on liquid nitrogen. Low temp is 83C. So this is ambient score test. So this is easily beatable for them, or anyone that puts this thing on like dry ice and or liquid nitrogen will easily beat this score. But still a crazy score, nonetheless. Siemens R15 by SafeDisk, another great overclocker. What do they got for the RAM? So he has some DDR5 RDIMMs, Zeta R5 Neos. Some very basic looking RAM. Apparently these work really good with the Threadrippers. Yeah, he's using a Threadripper 9950, 7995 WX. So, nice. It's got a GTX 980 Ti on it. A Zeus. ROG Matrix. It's a cool looking card. The motherboard is absolutely massive. Look at the bench test. Like, look at the bench setup. It's just way overhanging it. Huge, huge motherboard. So basically, while the test is doing nothing, it's hitting 145 watts doing nothing. Crazy. And he does have it on liquid nitrogen on this run. $30,098. It's a good score. How many gigs does he have in it? How many gigs of RAM does he have in it? He had a max wattage of 730 watts. 730 watts. 1.59 volts, it says, but could be a little wrong on that. CPU Z saying 1.328 volts. So it's probably around 1.45 volts. And he has 32 gigs. Okay, so it's not cranked out with RAM. Very good score by SafeDisk. Simbench R20. So we got Simbench R20 next. And again, this is SafeDisk as well. It's using the same motherboard, same RAM as well, same power supply. Same pictures because he probably ran these in series. Again, very good score, 6.25 gigahertz, which is absolutely flying. How much wattage was it hitting on this one? 617 watts on this one, it's saying. But 78,812 points is crazy. And Simbench R23 again by SafeDisk. Same setup. So again, he probably just ran these in series. 6.25 gigahertz again. Max wattage, it's saying on this one only 389 watts. $210,702 points. That's fast. It's like really, really fast. That's Simbench R23, by the way. Simbench R23. 210,000, almost 211,000 points. So CPU frequency, you can see this record done on YouTube. Elmore's Lab did this record. And they did it on helium. Oh, not even Elmore. Oh, so they just beat Elmore Labs' score. with a 14900KS for overclocking for CPU frequency, 9.121.61 megahertz or 9.1 gigahertz, just over it. Just beaten Elmore Labs. Again, Elmore Labs did do this as well. They had the record. Apparently not anymore. They got second place. They now have second place. So this is Elmore Labs. And they also ran it with liquid helium. But this right here is on YouTube. You can see this record on YouTube. But yeah, we'll go to the record again by Wittix. Here's the Wittix team here. They look like they're having fun doing it. Liquid helium is absolutely crazy how cold it gets. So they're down to negative 251 Celsius there. They're using an Elmore Labs K-type thermal probes, basically. It's a little, it's instead of getting like a K-type, what do you want to call it? Like multimeter, you can get multimeters by Fluke. The Elmore Labs makes this as well, so awesome, absolutely awesome. And they make it so it's USB-C powered as well, which is really, really good. Here it is. This is, again, liquid helium, so very, very cold. Very nice setup. Here's the liquid helium being poured into the pot. It is a multiple person. You cannot do liquid helium by yourself. Unfortunately, liquid helium is very complex and not easy to handle. You need someone on the nozzle, someone on the actual, like putting in the actual liquid helium. So very, very nice. That's flying. That is really fast. The CPUs before this were the FX Bulldozer series. They were very good for overclocking for single core overclock for max frequency. They weren't really good CPUs, but they were really good for overclocking for max frequency. And the 13900K, 12900K wasn't that great, but 13900K, KS, KF, 14900K, and KF and K are really good for overclocking again for max frequency, so they're using that CPU. That's just crazy how fast that is, though. Geekbench 3 multi-core, which is a really good one. Again, Sebi with his 7995X WX, looking chilly, looking all frosted. Hitting 6.1 gigahertz for this test, which is pretty crazy as well. Then we got Splave with this world record. Geekbench 4 single core on this one. Oh, okay, we'll do the Geekbench 3 single core by Zarok. So his score is 13,112 points on single core score, which is crazy. Very nice score. Again, 1400 KS. There are certain CPUs that just perform better for single core and multi-core. So, and the more cores you have, of course, it's going to be better. But these are world records as well. So, Sebi again with his 7995 WX. It's not 7995 WX. This is his Threadripper 7980X. This is a 64 core CPU, 6.2 gigahertz. Flying 195,000 points. I'd like to know how much wattage this one was hitting. A little small, can't really see. Got Splave, the #1 overclocker right now. For Geekbench 4 single core, 14,546 points with a 14900 KS. 8.2 gigahertz too. Holy moly. So yeah, again, Fluke or his K-type thermal probe. Very nice. Eight 8.2, almost 8.3 gigahertz. That's fast. See, what I want to see here is how many cores he actually had. He had 5 cores at that. It is 5 cores. Flying, man. Flying. Very nice. Very nice score. His single core score, 14,546. His multi-core score, 10,500. Extreme Addict here with the what? Xeon W9 3495X 5.3 gigahertz. So this motherboard is absolutely massive. Massive motherboard. So I was using some Kingston Furies here. Nice setup. Some server style fans, so keep everything nice and cool. Nice setup you got. 2 power supplies, one 1600 watt and one 1500 watt power supply. So he's down to negative 42. What GPU is that? Is that 610 or 710? 710 GTX 7 GT 710. 72,786. That was by Extreme Addict. Oh, another Spalave Z790i Lightning Wi-Fi board. Apparently they're pretty good boards. GT1030 is using on it. Again, 8.2, almost 8.3 gigahertz. 3,390 points for single core. On a 14900KS. Very nice. Zen's another good overclocker here. Always gonna be using another Intel Core Ultra 9 285K 7 gigahertz 33,572 points. What you got for a picture here? Nice. So he's got a RAM pot here and a CPU pot here. What if he needs to even put any liquid nitrogen in the RAM pot because how close the CPU pot is? Probably cools it down by itself. 4K. Hard to see. OC Dons. 29,920 points with a Ryzen Threadripper 7960X, which is a very good CPU. What board is he using though? He's using the Asus Pro WS TRX 50 Sage Wi-Fi. Another massive, expensive motherboard. Very nice score. And we got a benchmark score for GPU, Pi for CPU. So benchmark here with the world record. He's very nice. Nice core on that. See, this is a core for liquid nitrogen pot right here. And there's some pretty wild cores. This right here, it's a full copper. It all gets drilled out and threaded. And then it's probably machined down to do all this for it. But this is, yeah, one nice looking core. Board, Asus Pro WS TRX 50 Sage Wi-Fi. And he is using the 7995 WX. It's 507 watts. Hit a max of 5.6, almost 5.7 gigahertz, and the max effective clock was 5.4, almost 5.5 gigahertz. Very nice. Some more Sebis with his Threadripper, 1400 KF. I'll go into video cards. Be a little bit more difference on video cards. You'll see a lot of 5090s, 4090s, 7900 XTXs. CloudGate 5090, 127,823 points. Just on air. CPU is on liquid nitrogen, 13900KS at 7.2 gigahertz. Using the Corsair fan here. This is a magnetic levitating fan that he's using. Very nice. Graphics score is crazy. That 431,000 points. What else we got here? Oh, didn't mean to click that. Okay, GPU Firestrike's a very good test as well. No one's done 5090 with it yet, though. Why not? No picture of the setup. No CPU running that. CPU i9 14900K at 7.6 gigahertz for this. Crazy. Very nice. 80,000 points. Almost 81,000 points. Now, what was the boost clock? 3.1 gigahertz. 4090. Photronics for GPU. 7900 XTX. Here's a setup on water. So this is a dual D5 pump reservoir combo you could set up. Very nice. CPU is just on air. Yeah, so 7900 XTX. Very nice. 111,615 points. OGS. Firestrike Extreme. He's using a 5090D. Very nice. It's on liquid nitrogen, 3.285 gigahertz. CPU 1400 KF at 7.6 gigahertz. Crazy score, man. DOM Crazy Dom. There's his rad. That is something I would do. Just grab a power supply, splice and dice some wires, set it all up. Those tubes, it's so long. That's a huge run. Huge run. Dual D5 by the looks of it. Huge run though, holy. Some dusty fans. Very nice. Is this a triple D5 pump setup? Quad? Is this a quad D5 pump setup? One. Or is that just a reservoir? That's strictly reservoir? Just pump down there. There's 2 pumps on that. Is it quad or is it... Not sure if it's a quad D5 pump or a triple D5 pump setup. You would have to have a lot because that run is long. It's a lot of tube. It's a long run. So I was using Ryzen 9 9950X Granite Ridge. Very good CPU. I did review this CPU. Dom was the one with all the records at the time for the CPU, so I went over a bunch of his records. I was using a 1590 ROG Astral Edition, using Asus ROG Crosshair X870E Apex motherboard. And it's using for RAM G-Skill Trident Z Royal Neos, which is a really good RAM set. I just don't know how he's pumping that water that distance. Look at that runs, man. Looks like a radiator that I have for when I overclock my older stuff on water for that custom loop. Just 240 mil, works just fine. Chill the water and you're good to go. Very nice score though. Then we got some more Dread Zone scores here. So 3D Mark Ice Storm. I don't care about these scores, those ones, in my opinion. But Port Royal Skydiver isn't even one I like. Slingshot, I don't care. Slow Bay's good. Speedway's good. Steel Nomad's another new good one that's really good for newer hardware. Because it's got DX12 and Vulcan. The Mark Time Spy. So we'll go over a couple of these. Port Royal for record here. Port Royal record score 45,585 points. GeForce RTX 1590D. Let's see what we got for setup. Looks like he's got chilled water on CPU. Liquid nitrogen on the GPU. He's using the Hall of Fame OC Lab Edition. And I will be making a video about this graphics card and a few other Hall of Fame Galaxy graphics cards as well. Not the 5090D, but 3090, 4090, and 5090s. I will be going over the board designs, what they put into it for overclockers. They are designed for overclocking and not made for people that just want to game, basically. They're a great card if you want to game, yes, but the price wise, it's made for overclocking. Very nice score though, very nice. Dread Zone, I don't care. I'm sorry, Dread Zone, Louis Guy, Crimson Hawk. I don't really care about these tests, in my opinion. They're too light of a test. So we have Solar Bay. Whoops, wrong. Solar Bay, 251,000. 251,000. Holy. With an RTX 5090, which is used for CPU 1400K at 5.8 gigahertz. So CPU that's fairly average. You can get that no problem. Just on water. How many radiators do you need, bud? Tests aren't that long. I was using 5090 at 2 gigahertz. That can't be right. GPU clock 2.6. Boost up to 3.1 gigahertz. It's a lot of frames. 251,000 points. Very nice. Speedway by Mika. 17,169 points. Ooh, he's using the Galaxy Hall of Fame OC Lab Edition. He has the extra 16 pin or 12 volt high powered connector. We'll be making a video about these boards and what they use for components, what they put into it, and how they design the board just to make it just better for overclocking in general. Because yeah, it's a very nice board, nice white PCB on it, which is cool to see as well. Very nice. Here's liquid nitrogen pod on it. CPU is just on water. CPU is 14900 KF, just at 6 gigahertz. You get 3.2, almost 3.3 gigahertz on it. There you go. Very nice. 17,169 points for Speedway. We'll go over. Here we go over Time Spy, which a lot of people do know about Time Spy. So, Nvidia got some good scores for Time Spy and Time Spy GPU with a probably 5090. Oh, he's using a 6900 XT. Two 6900 XTs. Let's use it on dry ice. Dry ice on the CPU. 6.5 gigahertz on 14900K. Very nice. Very nice score, man. $3D Mark Time Spy GPU. Get on dry ice, 6.5 gigahertz. Water chilled on two RX 6900 XTs, as you can see on the setup right here. Very nice. EK block on one. Not sure if it's EK block on the other. Rog Fisher with a Nvidia RTX A6000. $32,941 points for Time Spy Extreme. Very nice. He's using four RTX A6000s on this. Wow. Nice. Wait, does he have a picture of that? No. Fortunately, no picture. We got Baron again, 126,000 points for Wildlife Extreme. 3D Mark 99. Here's his setup. Got his old monitor there. Very nice. This test bench on his daily there. That's a thick ass rad. That's a thick boy. Video card AMD Radeon HD 7970, and he's using i7 2700K. Very nice. 3D Mark Vantage Extreme. He's using a 5090D. Again, the 5090D, if people don't know, 5090D is for China. The China variant of the 5090 and the 5090D. The D stands for Dragon. So CPU pot, GPU pot, and RAM pot. But the whole setup here weighs a lot. Holy, that GPU is on an angle. $179,000 points for 3D Mark Vantage. Very nice score, man. Although, what I would like to show here, because there's other GPUs, older GPUs that are really good for this as well. So 3D Mark Vantage Performance by Team Australia. There they are. Join the beer. Probably doing some setup and test runs on that. Pouring liquid nitrogen. Very nice. There's the score. Very nice, man. Very nice, guys. Very nice score. 7.6 gigahertz. Just flying. Absolutely flying, man. 3D Mark Vantage performance for just GPU by exhaust. 225,516 points. Picture of the setup. CPU is on liquid nitrogen. GPU is just on air. 3D Mark 03 by Ruff. 539,000 points. Picture of the setup, yeah. Again, that GPU is just on an angle. Big angle, man. And he's using a 3090 Ti Hall of Fame. So, Galaxy Hall of Fame. Got another pot over here, CPU over here, CPU over there. Very nice setup. Team Australia again. 3D Mark 03. 3D Mark 05. What do they got here? Nice. Some liquid nitrogen doers there. Very nice score. 148,706 points for 3D Mark 05. 3D Mark 06. And these are older tests. These ones here. Very lot older tests. 3D Mark 06. 119,000 points. Again, they probably did these in series for these. Same pictures. Dread Zone. We got Dread Zone here. No picture from Dread Zone. 98,055 points. We got 3D Mark 11 Extreme. 3D Mark 11 Performance. We'll do 3D Mark 2001 SE here with the 980 Ti, which is the best for it. 1400 KS at 8.2 gigahertz. This test here likes the 980 Ti. It's Maxwell architecture on it, so it's it really likes this test. Really likes Maxwell. It's basically made for it. If you have a really good overclocked CPU, like 1400K or 1300K. Just a higher clock rate will help this score a lot. So 323,616 points. Very fast by Dreadzone. Or Team Australia, sorry. Dreadzone did another test on that. Aquamark. Man, I'm sorry, I don't care about Aquamark. But 1,000,000 points. Over 1,000,000. Okay, I don't care about this test, but over 1,000,000 points. 2 GeForce GTX 980 Ti's for this one. Very nice. Very nice. Catzilla. This over here will be Catzilla 1440p by Kingpin. This still hasn't been broken. This was done a while ago. Four GTX 1080 Ti's. This is by Kingpin. The score still hasn't been beat. X299 Dark. Cool board. Really good score. Dual or quad 1080 Ti's. OGS got scores on the Catzilla 576p and 720p. Simbench 2024 for GPU 4090's got the score of 181,302 points. Got some pictures to go over this one. Very nice. Nice. Very nice score. GPU Pi 1B, GPU Pi 32B, version 3.3, and just regular version is tests I'd like. So we'll do those for sure. Nvidia H100 NVL. 8 of them. 8 H100 NVLs. Crazy setup. So he's using a server for this one. Look at that. Look at that. Cool. Nice server. Probably a very pricey one too. So it's a dual AMD EPYC 9654s. These are the Genovas. 3.7 gigahertz. But 8 H100s. 8 of them. Very nice. So Venture PO. Basically using a mining setup for this one. 7 Nvidia GeForce RTX 4090s. Those are all 4090s. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And he has a PlayStation 3 down below. What a setup. Dreadzone with Eugene Haven Basic. 4090s using 1400K at 8.1 gigahertz. No picture for Dreadzone. Ralph. Got pictures from Ralph. Very nice. Galaxy OC Lab Edition. Hall of Fame, of course. Looks like he's got some sort of electrical grease all around the components on this one. Yeah, he must have had issues with the liquid nitrogen, just freezing it up too much, causing issues. Very nice. 100, not 100, 16,175 points. And then we got OGS with the Eugene Superposition 1080p. It's 5090D again, 5090 Dragon, 3.3 gigahertz on liquid nitrogen. Same set. Very nice. Very nice. So we'll go over some news here. So the Galaxy RTX 5090D Hall of Fame OC Lab Edition scorches through the 3D rankings. March 09 news. So the Galaxy RTX 5090D Hall of Fame OC Lab Edition has landed. Again, I was going over this on a couple of my live streams a while ago about this card and how I'm going to be going over board design and components used on this board. So as usual, several professional overclockers got samples to test out the latest Galaxy flagship, which is awesome for them that they did. Rough overclocked gaming systems OGS and Mica pushed their cards way over the current used GPU core and memory clocks and thus set new global records in the following benchmarks: 3D Mark Firestrike Extreme, 3D Mark Port Royal, Eugene Superposition 8K, GPU Pi version 3.3 32B. So very nice. And we went over all those because those are the scores that really these scores matter. Those scores matter. So here's the board. Very nice looking board. This is a heater. Right here is a heater that you see. Very nice. Oh. So hopefully you guys like some of those records. I will be making another live stream and or video about more world records and records on GPUs and CPUs. If there's any kind of GPU and or CPU you'd like to see, or RAM, DDR3, DDR4, DDR2, don't really matter, DDR as well. We'll go over through different kinds of RAM as well if you like to see different motherboard overclocks. GPU, CPU, again, everything. Let me know in the comment section below if you'd like to see any of those kind of records. If you have any in mind, just let me know in the comment section below, and I'll definitely do whatever is needed to get some content for you guys to see, and ones that you'll like. So, again, thank you to all my viewers, subscribers, and donators. You guys are helping out this channel greatly. Again, let me know in the comment section below if you guys like to see anything different. Yep, so that's going to be the end of this stream. So, as always,